When will the new Versus show come out? I can't really tell. Maybe September, maybe August, or maybe even before August. But don't take my word for it, that's a big maybe. Would you be interested in composite Kratos versus composite Dante? Not sure. I guess I would be interested in Kratos versus Dante in general. Not sure about compositing them though, but it's not off the table, so let's see. Would you remake any battle for Versus show? Remaking one of my own? Probably not. I mean, they're just 5 episodes, there's not much to remake. Remaking battles that, I don't know, Death Battle did, like who else? Yeah, certainly, Mewtwo versus Shadow, or maybe even Joker versus Sweet Tooth are on the table, so perhaps that one day, but that's also just a maybe. If you had to pick, what would you say is your favorite not you Versus show? I guess Death Battle would be cheating, right? If that's not available to choose, then I guess it's OMM, 1 Minute Melee. Damn, at that time it was such a blast. Although they just fight about a minute, the characters, that 1 minute was literally everything you could have asked for. It was so intense, and the last seconds were like, who the hell would win? In general, would you be interested in me trying to rank other Versus shows? Like, it would be definitely biased in one way or another, but for fun and, well, entertainment, would you watch it? Ever thought of getting a Discord server? I already got one, and there's a link in the description. Out of the matchups you did, which was the best? There's a difference between what I think was the best and what my favorite is. I guess the best one I did is Armstrong versus Valentine. Don't confound best with good in general. If my Versus show is good, that's something you gotta tell me. The thing what I like about Armstrong versus Valentine is, for example, Valentine's analysis. It was very important, especially for the next episode, which was Beyonder versus Lucifer, due to the fact that Valentine, I only got really manga panels to use. So it was interesting to see how I would pull it off. And about the animation, what I feel like was very cool is those hype moments. For example, Armstrong picking up the skyscraper they were literally fighting on before, and Armstrong teaming up with another Armstrong to crush all the other Valentines. Is there a process for choosing a matchup? Of course there is. First of all, it's about, can I do it? Would I do it? Do I even want it? And of course, how well would it do? Like, of course, view-wise, because, well, without you, this would be nothing. What's your favorite Death Battle episode? Oh, that's gotta be Balrog versus TJ Combo. Now, there are plenty of episodes I really like Bill versus Discord or Scarlet Witch versus Satana, but Balrog versus TJ Combo, especially at that time, was a banger. Like, it didn't even feel like a death battle, like just a death battle, but a boxing matchup. It was so real and it had so many hype moments, and even then the analysis was also so good, especially the conclusion. I learned something there about how actually boxing worked. Which was the most interesting character to research? I think that's Dr. Manhattan. Like, I didn't know how complex he actually was, especially in the DC field, because I didn't know how epic Superman is of a character, and Dr. Manhattan kinda showcase this. What's your favorite Versus matchup idea? Scrat versus Al Bundy. If you don't like this matchup, then I'm sad. This is such a banger. What's my hopes for a future of Versus show? That it increases in quality, quantity, and, yes, popularity. What's a series you wanna do on the show, but don't have a specific matchup? Honestly, there's no real series I don't have a matchup, or rather, let's change this question to character. And for that I have to say Darth Maul. He has a couple of matchups that are good, but none really standing out. There is Arbiter, but I'm not sure if that really works, or, well, Byakuya from Bleach. But then I've also heard that Mace Windu is better, so I don't know. Also, there's a classic in form of Carnage, but his matchup aged like Mewtwo versus Frieza. Anything but good. What's the most fun episode you've done or are doing? I guess I'm going for are doing, because Bender versus Roger is going to be wild. This will definitely be a lot of fun to do. How's my day? Pretty fine, I guess. Thanks for asking. How's your day? You know, those questions are very underrated and should be used more often. They can make one's day so much better. My favorite character of all time? Oh, that's gotta be Bill Cipher. He is the one who introduced me into cosmic horror, and also the reason why I got a triangle as a profile picture. Your favorite Versus battle episode you made? That might surprise you, but that's Akame versus Killer. Yeah, but you used AI voices. Yeah, it happened, and I don't think it was too bad. It was literally me having no other option left. And even then, I feel like this episode was quick, but that's also what the matchup is. It's no Manhattan versus Nixon. But it was decent to do. It was probably the quickest episode I could have done. And for that, I feel like it did fine enough. My dream matchup. That's going to be the next one, Bender versus Roger. This episode is one I always wanted to do. How many episodes will there be? I have no idea. For now I'm trying to pull off 10, but maybe more, but I really cannot say how many, and I don't know, like, this is something I can't answer. What make you do this versus battle show? Before that I did trailers, like if you look back, Homer vs. Peter, that's around 7 years old. That was at a time where Death Battle fan-made trailers also were a big thing. But I always wanted to do a versus show, but never really could pull it off. If you also look back at my channel, I did a Goku vs. Saitama video, another versus show called Mortal Brawl, but outside of that one episode, I didn't know how to really continue. And then 4 years later, well, Chaos vs. Kyogre happened. So there's that. And if you're wondering why versus show as the name, why not? So many people try hard a name for their versus show, and then it was like, you know what? Let's just call it what it is, a versus show. The versus show. And it's also a regular show reference, so there's that. Preferred alt for every character used on versus show. Okay, let's speedrun this. Chaos vs. Zygarde from Pokemon. Kyogre vs. Xeodos from Monster Hunter. Nixon vs. Akame vs. Katana from DC. Killer vs. Misaka. Armstrong vs. Agent Venom. Valentine vs. Handsome Jack. The Beyonder vs. Kami Tenchi. Lucifer vs. Naira, that thing from H.P. Lovecraft. Bender vs. Rick, and Roger vs. Piccoli from Lilo and Stitch. Honestly, let's just go with Paul the Alien from the movie. Why does it take so long for your episodes to come out? Now I understand that it can be annoying, but you gotta consider that I am the animator, the voice actor, at least mostly, the sound editor, the video editor, and researcher, so it's not easy to always pull it off. Like, I really hope the versus show grows bigger, so maybe some people can help me out on this one, but for now, this is how it's going to look. Well, that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and then have a nice day. Bye.